serious. All saved, all serious.
Bad feeling about this.
All saved, all saved, all saved, all serious.
Like the show has producers and the producers control what happens in the show. If God is our producer, then God should be able to control what happens in our life. But the only way that can happen is if you check in with the producer often enough. So what happens in these shows is there's not one episode of the show that goes by where the producer is not involved in the talk with the characters, is not involved in the talk with the directors, is not involved in the talk with whoever's going to actually put the product onto the screen. And the issue is, for some of us, the reason why we do things that are separate from what our producer wants is we don't check in with them. The reality is, all that I'm talking about today is I want to know at what point in your life are you going to come to your senses? At what point in your life are you going to come to the place where you realize that the real world that you see on TV, the real world that your friends talk about, the real world that they put inside this music to make it sound like this is real world is not the real world? And when are you going to come to your senses and realize that what God has for you is the real world? That what God has already given you is the real world?
All saved, all serious.